All right, I'm back again. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in on today. I'm back again with some more information about Ghana immigration and how it impacts us as the African diaspora, as anyone really coming to Ghana who is a non-citizen, and even sometimes Ghanaians who have lost their citizenship because they received dual citizenship or a citizenship in another country. All right, and so believe it or not, a lot of times or many times they have to pay fees as well when they return to Ghana. Yeah, they do. All right. And so I think that's one of the things that they're working on with this particular, with this current administration under President Mahama, is to make it to where Ghanaians can have dual citizenship without penalty. All right. So let's talk about the penalties that they charge us, though. Those of us who are the Trans-Atlantic Diaspora and others. But I want to share with you guys from the perspective, first of all, welcome. Those of you who do not know, I do identify as a Trans-Atlantic Diaspora, but also as an Israelite, because that's who we are. All right. Whether you believe it or not, that's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not angry with you. Right. But, so you'll hear me often bring a perspective from the Bible as to where we are, and present information for those of us who are Israelites, who know we're Israelites, and we really need to know what's going on. And I'll be sharing that on another share, because you're not going to believe what's happening in Ghana. If you are someone who is of faith, all right, particularly Christian faith and other faiths who believe in Bible prophecy and giving insight on Bible prophecy and warnings and so on and so forth, you need to know what has just come down the pipes. All right. So hopefully I will be sharing that soon. Now, but today I want to talk to us about the part two, basically, of what I've shared before. Today I want to deal with the immigration and how, if you are doing any type of business in Ghana, if you're working for someone, if you're doing consultation, if you're selling land, if you are referring people, if you're doing tours, if you're assisting anyone doing tours, if you're doing anything, you got a chop shop, chop bar, I should say, you selling alcohol, you selling fufu and goat, whatever it is you are doing, here is a warning for you. All right, concerning the changes in Ghana and how it's going to impact you. You do not want to end up in jail, and you do not want to end up deported. Now, I am showing, by now you should see what's on the screen here. This is a price list that I put up some time ago. I did this year, and it's part one, and I was talking about the penalties for foreigners, right, who overstay. And I said that I would be back with some more. And I've done several shares on the diaspora, the changes, the proposed $250,000 fee. So if you haven't seen the video that I did on the proposed residency fee, please go and look at it. And secondly, if you are hearing that anyone has become a resident of Ghana and they haven't followed the laws, there are only 5 qualifications, and I'll show you this in the share, where you can become a resident. They are becoming a resident illegally, and it will backfire. Don't follow that pattern. Follow the law. All right. So let's get into this. If you're doing business in Ghana, all right, you must have a business license, guys. You cannot come to Ghana and operate a business without a business license. And so I'm going to show you, if my computer will allow me. All right. This is the Ghana Immigration Services website, right? And so they have permits, okay? The only way that you can do business in Ghana is that you will have to be a resident, all right? And the residency permit, I've told you there are 5 categories of residency, all right? Here you will see 4 of them, but in just a moment or so, I'm going to show you the 5th. Actually, there's 7, but according to them, one of them they're not giving out information on, and the other one they say they don't do. Okay, but yeah, so let's get into this as far as the permits in doing business. You must have one, a residency permit before you even begin to do a business. Secondly, you must have the proper permits from the agencies that issue permits to businesses. Okay, you cannot come and start doing business just because you're a resident. You must first register your business, be a resident, register your business, and then apply for your residency permit, or be an employee of someone who has a business who must also qualify. So you see here, I clicked on permits. These are the type of permits. There are the NGOs, missionary permits, GIPC, and shareholders. All right. And then there is the indefinite resident status and the resident permits for students. All right. So the fees associated with these, let's talk about these because this is where the issue lies. I did the share that I showed you earlier, and I showed you in that particular share, part 1, where the fees that you see on the internet are not the most current. When you get to their office, they're going to hit you with some other fees, okay? What we're seeing now on this site as far as their current fees, this is a list that I received back in November of 2024, but they're just updating the website now with this list. We've spoken to them since then, and they've told us the prices have changed again. So what I'm showing you today on some of the items, some of them may be accurate and current, and some of them may not be, okay? Because they have made changes, guys. And so these changes are impacting a lot of people. People are getting down to immigration and being surprised. And I'm glad that some of you are now, taking these shares seriously, even though you don't comment. All right. I know you're watching. And so you're trying to go and get your situation straightened out. And there's several of you. And it's really sad to see that some of you are trying to do it the right way and running into these excessive fees. Others are trying to do, some shady stuff and still running into excessive fees. And if you don't qualify for something, don't force it. If you do not qualify for something, don't force it. Don't take that information from an immigration officer, from anyone else that tells you that they can hook you up or they can do things for you. You're going to have to pay extra fees. It's going to come back and bite you in the behind. All right. Don't do it. Follow the law. All right. So in the previous year, I talked about overstays, and I showed that from the video that I did, I showed that the fees that they were showing us for the overstays on the website, it was listed as, say, for example, for an expired visa, it was listed as an 80 Ghana cedi fee, right? But in this particular share, I showed you that I had received information and a more accurate list that showed the new fees that would be coming out. And those new fees, hold on, would be 300. Hold on. So I showed you, sorry about that, an ad popped up in the middle of the share, but if you view that share, I showed you that the fees listed on their website said 80 Ghana cedis per month for overstays, right? However, the website did not show what they were charging down at immigration. When you got there, they were going to hit you with 300 Ghana cedis, which is about $30 currently per month. So from $8 to $30. So you go down there and you're going to get hit with $22 extra per month. And I said in that share that some people have come to Ghana and, they've just been kind of hanging out, for the last 5 years since the year of return, and haven't been keeping up with their immigration. Or some people who have been, keeping up with it, maybe they were aware of the changes, but many people were not, okay? And then a lot of people had misinformation, okay, or information that was accurate at that time, such as they told us that if you buy land, if you prove that you have made a significant investment in Ghana, then and if you've been here 5 out of the last 6 years, you could become a resident or citizen. All right. No, they changed that. right? Pull the rug out from under many people, okay, without warning. And so that left a lot of people confused, left a lot of people in a situation where they have purchased property, they have built homes, they are living in those homes, and guess what? They come and said in 2023 that it is unlawful for you to do that. They put it only on their website. You can't find that information on the Lands Commission website. Agents aren't telling you, people online are not telling you, but I'm here to tell you, and a few other people know it. You know, those who come in the comments and say, I knew about this. Well, why weren't you telling people? You know, because there are countless numbers of people who are buying homes and who are not residents of Ghana, and who have not gone through the proper channels. There are people who are going and doing business on the continent who are not residents of Ghana. So all of this information, and a lot of people who are waiting for their 5-year term to end, thinking that they can go and now register and become citizens. No, 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 no. So let's deal with doing business today. If you are doing business in Ghana, all right, this list was a list that I had access to, all right, but the website had other information, and I had access to it because I was discussing some issues about new businesses on the continent and what the requirements were. And we were told that this, even if you want to start a new business, all right, if people are operating even a new business, which I wasn't, but if you want to operate a business on the continent, and these are the fees, right? Some of the fees you'll see up here, right? You still have to qualify here initially. But if someone is operating a business, we saw on this list as we're going down it, this is the carrier information. Give me one moment. Okay, so if you are operating a business in Ghana now, and you do not have the proper licenses to operate that business, if you are a Ghanaian who has lost, they've made some changes. If you are a Ghanaian who has lost your citizenship because you became a citizen of another country, they're no longer penalizing you. So there's not going to be a penalty. If you are a member of ECOWAS, so say you're a Nigerian in Ghana and you are operating a business without a license, they're going to charge you $2,500. Okay. Now, to show you that this was not always the case, let me bring you here. This is the chart that was up as late as early 2025, right? Early 2025. If you were operating a business without a proper business license here in Ghana, all right, and you were a member of ECOWAS, they charged you 5,000 Ghana cedis, which is about $500. If you were any other foreigner, it was also 5,000 Ghana cedis, right? $500. That's as a company. If you were working for a company, say your house help is from Togo, all right, and they were working for a company and without a work permit or any type of license to be in Ghana to work, they would charge you 2,500 Ghana cedis, which is about $250. All right. And then foreigners, such as those from America or other places, they would also charge you 2,500 Ghana cedis. But that list that they gave me back in November or March, because I uploaded information in March as well, okay, to show that the list said one thing when you went into the office, but the website said something else. Okay, so the new list, this is the penalty and the current prices if you are operating a business in Ghana without a license, any type, consultancy, taking people on tours, people that you know, you're actually getting paid to show them around on tours, any type of business, chop bar, gift shop, anything that you're doing. Any type of business, referral, real estate, whatever. If you are found out to be doing this as a member of ECOWAS, they're no longer going to charge you 2,500 Ghana cedis. They're going to charge you $2,500. All right. That's if you have a company. $2,500. If you are a foreigner such as an American or from the UK, from Canada, from anywhere else, any other African who is not a member of ECOWAS, they are going to charge you 5,000 US dollars. If you are working for a company, if your house help, your construction people are not are here illegally, all right, and who are working for a company as an employee that is not properly registered, that fee is $2,500 for illegal employment. In order to work in Ghana, you must be a resident of Ghana. And in order to be a resident, you have to qualify according to those 5 classes that I told you about. And I'm going to show you again in just a moment. But once again, if you are working for a company and you are an illegally employed in Ghana, for ECOWAS is 2,500 cedis, $250. But for any other foreigner, if you are working, say one of us starts a company and I hire you to do my my website, right? And you work for me as my IT person, it is $1,000 fine to you and a $5,000 fine to me to have a company, first of all, that is not set up properly. That's an illegal company. And then there is a $1,000 fee to you for working for me. All right. So guys, they are changing things without any, major public announcement. Unless you're keeping up with this information, you will be shocked and possibly arrested and deported if it is found out. And they mean what they say. Okay. Listen, as the Trans-Atlantic Diaspora, we have no special privileges. I have told you guys, the year of return, forget it. It was a year of visitation. Okay. It was a tourism. I don't want to say stunt, but if you make people feel like they are welcome to return and then you don't honor that, then it was false advertisement at the least. Okay. And so guys, wake up, wake up. My Israelite brothers and sisters, you should already be woke and you should understand that we are pilgrims, strangers, and sojourners in the earth. Be ready to move. Don't put all your money in any of these countries. None of them have committed to us fully. Now, there are some changes that are going on, and few of them have made, well, one of them have made an offer that I can legitimately verify from their government sites. And I will be talking about that and sharing that information as well. It's not everything that I'll be sharing here. Some of the stuff I will be sharing on my website as well. For those of you who do not know where my website is, I'm actually having some stuff done. This isn't published, but in this area, this will be some documents here. There will be some documents here that's specifically for us. I think I'm going to make it exclusively members, and it may be paid membership, just like for a nominal fee. But because I put a lot of effort into this, okay, translations and so on and so forth, and providing information that is very, very beneficial. Okay, if you say you can get that stuff online, feel free to do so. Okay, it's out there and I encourage you to do so. But I may make this a paid membership. But the information that I'm sharing out here online, it's free. It's beneficial to those who take the information and use it and do the right thing. Once again, let me show you also before I wrap this up. If anyone is telling you, and I've already done some shares on that, also go and check out my playlist that I have here that list a number of shares that I have done on various topics, okay? And on various topics. And those topics cover a lot of issues. Excuse me, guys. Please check out the playlist that I have here concerning immigration in Ghana. I've done a number of shares and you can find it on a playlist that I have here, and that's going to help you out and to know what's going on and how to keep up with what's going on. All right. So back to the categories. And once again, if anyone, no matter who it is, even if they end up with their so-called residency, please know there are people who have bought land in Ghana who are Ghanaians, who have documents, who have their paperwork, who have their stamps, who have all of the things that they need to say that their land is properly registered, but it did not stop their land from being knocked down. It did not, homes from being knocked down. It did not stop them from losing their property, from having all of the money that they invested in their homes just torn down in a matter of minutes, because the land that they purchased was in a Ramsar site, which we would call a wetlands area, marsh area, and they did all the things that they were supposed to do. But that didn't stop the government who issued them the approval, who came out, supposedly came out and approved their building site and their home. It did not stop the same government from coming and tearing down their homes right before their eyes. Okay. So don't say because someone really has their documents or really has their registration that, it's okay because they have it and you've seen it and it's real. Yeah, but is it legal? Was it done legally? Was it established legally? Did they qualify? So what are the qualifications for being a resident of Ghana so that you can operate your business, so that you can be in Ghana properly? Those qualifications are, you must, one, either be a student, either be one of these work permits where you are a missionary or an NGO, or have a GIPC permit, which is a type of business permit. Okay, it comes with special terms and so on and so forth. The next one is the immigrant quota that they claim they no longer offer. Okay, they say they no longer offer the immigrant quota. At least they're being told that. Some people are being told that, but we have to establish that, because you can go there and they'll tell you, yeah, they offer it, right? And then there's the resident permit. All right, for dependents. But even if you're a spouse of someone, you say you marry a Ghanaian, it takes 4 years. 4 years. You have to be married to the person for 4 years before you can even apply to be a citizen, which is interesting because in America, I can meet someone today here in Ghana, show proof that we've met, get on a plane, go back to America, make a request for them to come under a marriage visa. They can arrive there. We can get married. We got 90 days to get married. We get married and I can immediately apply for their residency. They have to wait a little while and then they can begin working, right? But here in Ghana, you have to wait 4 years. 4 years. You got to go through this paperwork for 4 years. It doesn't even matter if you're married to someone. Okay. That's another subject which I will be discussing on. You need to think twice before you marry someone who is from a country. Well, let me just say this. Think twice if you're an American citizen in particular about marrying someone from another country, because there are penalties. Yes, penalties if they violate American immigration laws that you will have to pay. You, even if they remain in America legally, you could still be financially responsible for them. And it ain't cheap. All right. Next thing. Well, let me get back to this. All right. Resident permits for shareholders. It seems like they're not offering that anymore, which that would have allowed us to invest in other people's businesses as a shareholder, and then you would be granted a residency permit that way. So that's sort of up in the air right now. And then the work permit as a company. So, and if someone tells you that they have legal residency in Ghana, here is a true test on to determine whether or not they are here really legally, or if they have a permit but it's just not legitimate and it's just a matter of time before some investigations take place. Ask them, okay, are you a student? If they say no, okay, fine. Ask them, are you a missionary NGO? If they say no, okay, then ask them, all right, are you under the GIPC program? If they say no, okay, say, all right, so did they offer you immigrant quota? Because they said that they're no longer offering that. Then see what they say. If they say no, then ask them, are you married, or are you a child of a Ghanaian? And if they say no, ask them, okay, did they open up shareholder opportunities for you? If they say no, And then ask them if they have a company that they have registered. And if they say, oh yeah, I have a company or I'm part of a company, say, okay, so did you pay that huge $200,000 fee? Or, what type of business is it? Is it a service business or is it a retail business? Because retail, if you're the sole owner, you need $1 million. If it's a service business, you need $500,000. If it's a partnership, you need $200,000 in equity or cash. Ask them. Okay? Because this is what they're pushing on us now. And I say pushing because before they were saying, and some remnants of this information can be found on the Minister of Interior and also throughout the internet, where and documentation and communication that you may have had with them in the past. All right. Keep everything. When you go to their website, use a screen recorder and screen record all of this information because it will change in a matter of weeks and months. I assure you that information will change. Just as this has changed, all right, this information has changed. This information is the current information that they're presenting to us, but they've told us that some of these numbers have changed. All right, some of these numbers have changed. Okay. But this is what was presented as late as early 2025, right? And so people were going off of this and they get down to immigration and find out that they owe far more in overstay fees. They find out that the things that they thought they could do as far as qualifying for residency and citizenship is no longer offered. And then they will even ask you, who told you that? And you're looking at the person who told you that. So be careful, guys. All right. They are going to not admit to telling you this stuff. They won't. Why would they? They could get in trouble. All right. And so we have to be wise. We have to prepare ourselves and trust no one. I don't care if they have on a uniform. Trust no one. Make sure you have everything in writing. All right. Record information as well and follow the law. So I hope this helps someone, and don't be selfish. Share the information with others. Okay. God bless you and thank you for tuning in on today. And remember to check out my website. I will be updating the site with more information, and this section right here, you all won't be able to see it when you go there, but I'm working on this right now. Okay. So thank you very much for tuning in, and shalom.